Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight, with no sugarcoating. Success does not come to the ones who sleep through their destiny. Opportunity does not knock at noon. Discipline does not wait for you to get comfortable. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who only dream about it often begins with one simple act: waking up early. When the world is silent, when the streets are quiet, when everyone else is still chasing dreams inside their beds, that is the time you rise. Because early mornings are not just about time, they are about mindset. They are about commitment. They are about telling life, I am ready, I am disciplined, and I will not waste a single second of the gift I've been given. You see, the morning is sacred. It's not crowded with noise, distractions, or excuses. It belongs to the hungry, the determined, the focused. When you wake up early, you don't just gain time, you gain clarity. You don't just start your day, you seize it. The early hours give you space to pray, to plan, to build, to sharpen your mind and body before the world even notices you're moving. Greatness is not about talent alone. It's not about luck. It's about what you do when nobody is watching. It's about the hours you invest when the world is asleep. It's about waking up before the sun, pushing forward when your body says, stay down, and believing that every small act of discipline is building the foundation for something bigger. The early morning is more than just a time on the clock. It is a gift, an opportunity wrapped in silence, waiting for those who are willing to unwrap it. While the world still sleeps, while the noise of life is still quiet, and while distractions are at their lowest, the morning hours give you something that is rare in this busy, chaotic world: clarity. Waking up early is not about simply having more hours in the day. It is about owning the most powerful hours of the day. These are the moments where your mind is fresh, your body is rested, and your spirit is ready to align with the direction you want your life to go. In the early morning, there is no pressure from the world, no demands from others, no interruptions pulling you away. It is just you, your thoughts, your goals, and the silence that sharpens your focus. Think about it. The most successful people in the world, whether in business, sports, art, or leadership, understand the value of the morning. They understand that when the world is quiet, they can hear their vision more clearly. It is in those hours before the sun rises that ideas come alive, plans take shape, and discipline is forged. When you wake up early, you step into a space where you are in control. You are not reacting to the world yet. You are creating your world. The morning allows you to pray, meditate, exercise, read, learn, or simply sit with your thoughts before the storm of the day begins. That is how you build strength, not just in your body but in your mind and your spirit. When you claim the morning, you claim momentum. Success is not built on occasional big victories. It is built on the small, consistent wins that compound over time. Waking up early is one of those wins. Each morning you rise before the rest. You are proving to yourself that your commitment is stronger than your comfort. You are telling your mind and body that purpose outweighs pleasure and discipline outweighs laziness. Over time, that mindset begins to define you. It becomes who you are. People wonder why some individuals seem to accomplish so much, and the answer often begins with their morning. They win their mornings, and because they win their mornings, they step into their days already ahead of the game. There is also a mental advantage to rising early. While others are still wrapped in sleep, you are awake and alive, already moving toward your vision. That creates confidence. That creates a sense of power, because you know you are working while others are not. It's not about competing with the world. It's about competing with yourself. It's about deciding that you refuse to let laziness steal your future. Waking up early is a declaration that you value your life, your dreams, and your time too much to waste them. Beyond productivity, there is something spiritual about the morning. The stillness, the cool air, the rising sun. It reminds you that every day is a new beginning, a fresh start, a chance to be better than you were yesterday. The morning carries with it a sense of renewal. It wipes away the mistakes of yesterday and replaces them with the opportunity of today. When you wake early, you align yourself with that rhythm of renewal. You begin your day, not in chaos, not in hurry, but in intentionality. And that intentionality flows into every decision you make, every action you take, and every result you create. Imagine what your life would look like if every morning was owned, if every sunrise was claimed, if every first hour of the day was spent building your future instead of wasting it. You would walk into the world not chasing after time, but leading. You would not live in reaction but in creation. That is the power of waking up early. That is the foundation upon which success, discipline, and purpose are built. Motivation is a powerful spark, but it is a spark that fades. It comes when you hear an inspiring speech, When you watch someone achieve greatness, or when you feel that rush of excitement after setting a new goal. But sparks do not last forever. They burn bright for a moment, and then disappear if there is no fuel to keep them alive. That is why discipline is so much more powerful than motivation. Discipline is not a feeling, it is not based on mood, and it does not depend on whether you are inspired. Discipline is a decision, a choice you make every single day regardless of how you feel. It is the contract you sign with yourself to keep moving forward when the fire of motivation goes out. Waking up early is one of the clearest examples of discipline being stronger than motivation. Motivation may wake you up on the first day, because you feel excited about a new routine or a fresh start. But what happens on the second day, when you are tired? What happens on the third day, when your body craves the comfort of staying in bed? Motivation will not save you then. It will whisper excuses. It will tell you that you deserve rest. It will try to convince you that skipping one day doesn't matter. But discipline speaks differently. Discipline tells you that you made a promise to yourself, and breaking it is not an option. Discipline does not negotiate. It demands consistency. It demands that you rise, even when your body and mind fight against it. Discipline is like a muscle, and waking up early is the training ground. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen that muscle. The stronger it gets, the more it shapes your life. Discipline builds character because it teaches you that success does not come from bursts of inspiration but from steady, unshakable habit. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who wait to feel motivated, they are the ones who build the strength to act whether they feel like it or not. They understand that feelings are temporary but habits are permanent. When you rely only on motivation, you live on unstable ground. You start projects but never finish them. You get excited about change but quit when it gets uncomfortable. You ride emotional highs but crash when the low moments come. But when you rely on discipline, you build stability. You create a foundation that does not crumble under pressure, because it is not built on feelings, it is built on decisions. Discipline does not care if you are tired, it does not care if you are stressed, and it does not care if you would rather stay in bed. Discipline says you will do it anyway, because you know that long-term results matter more than short-term comfort. Think about every great athlete. Every leader, every creator, every innovator, none of them relied on motivation alone. They built routines, habits, and rituals that they followed with discipline. They woke up early, they trained when others rested, they practiced when nobody was watching, they stayed committed long after the excitement faded. That is why they succeeded. Their lives were not built on sparks of motivation but on the steady fire of discipline that never burned out. When you learn to wake up early through discipline, you are teaching yourself a lesson that applies to every area of life. You are training your mind to show up for your dreams regardless of how you feel. You are creating a mindset that says comfort is not the goal. Growth is, and growth always demands sacrifice. Sacrifice of sleep, sacrifice of excuses, sacrifice of laziness. Discipline is the price of greatness, and waking up early is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to pay that price every day. When you wake up early, you are not just rising from bed, you are setting the tone for everything that will follow. The way you begin your day shapes your mindset, your energy, your focus, and ultimately your results. Winning the morning means you have already achieved something before the rest of the world has even started moving. That feeling of accomplishment builds momentum, and momentum is one of the greatest forces in life. Once you start strong, it becomes easier to keep going strong. Success is not an accident. It is the result of stacking small victories on top of each other until they create unstoppable progress. The morning is your first battle, and if you win it, you carry that strength with you into every other battle of the day. Consider how most people begin their morning. They hit snooze, they wake up late, they rush through the house, grab something unhealthy to eat, and run out the door stressed, unprepared, and already behind. Their day begins in chaos, and that chaos follows them into work, into relationships, into decisions, and into everything they do. Contrast that with someone who wakes up early, takes time to exercise, reads, prays, plans their day, and calmly steps into the world with focus. That person is already miles ahead, not because they are smarter or more talented, but because they started their day with intention. Winning the morning is about taking control before the world takes it from you. When you wake up early, you give yourself time to prepare instead of react. Most people spend their days reacting to emails, to phone calls, to problems, to other people's demands. They are constantly chasing what comes at them. But if you win your morning, you walk into the day already prepared. You know your priorities, You know what matters most, and you carry a sense of calm confidence that others cannot match. You are leading the day instead of being led by it. That difference separates those who move forward with purpose from those who stay stuck in cycles of frustration. Winning the morning also builds discipline and identity. Each time you get up early, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who follows through, someone who does what others will not, someone who values their goals enough to sacrifice comfort. Over time, that identity becomes powerful. You stop questioning whether you can succeed, because you already prove it to yourself every morning when you rise. You stop doubting your ability to stay consistent, because you see your own consistency day after day. Winning the morning gives you proof of your strength, and that proof fuels confidence in every area of your life. There is also an energy advantage. The morning hours are when your body and mind are at their peak, rested from sleep and ready to perform. Tasks that might take you hours in the afternoon can often be completed in half the time in the early morning, because your mind is sharper, your focus is stronger, and your energy is undistracted. This means by the time others are just starting their day, you may have already completed your most important work. That creates not only progress, but also freedom, because you know you are ahead. Over weeks and months, winning the morning compounds into something much bigger. Each day becomes a stepping stone toward your goals. Each week brings visible progress, and each year tells the story of someone who is disciplined, consistent, and unstoppable. The truth is, success rarely comes from one massive breakthrough. It comes from the accumulation of small daily wins, and there is no win more consistent, more foundational, and more transformative than owning your morning. Every great achievement is the result of countless small acts done consistently over time. Waking up early may seem like a small act, but it is one of the most powerful decisions you can make because of what it represents. Each time you rise before the world, you are proving that you value discipline over comfort, progress over excuses, and growth over stagnation. Those small acts build momentum, and momentum builds results. You do not need to change your entire life overnight to succeed. You need to commit to the small disciplines, the quiet choices, and the daily habits that stack on top of one another until they create something extraordinary. Greatness is not a sudden explosion. It is a slow, steady fire that grows stronger with every spark. Waking up early is one of those sparks. The first few mornings may feel insignificant. You may wonder if it is even making a difference, but those early hours begin to shape your mind. They give you space to think, to plan, to act without distraction. They train you to stay consistent, even when the results are not immediate. Over time, the compounding effect of those mornings becomes undeniable. What once felt small now becomes the foundation of something much bigger. Think about building muscle. One workout does not transform your body. One healthy meal does not create fitness. But repeated again and again, those small acts transform everything. The same is true with discipline. One morning will not change your life, but one morning repeated 100 times, 1,000 times, creates a completely new version of you. The small act of waking up early builds confidence because you prove to yourself that you can keep a promise to yourself. That confidence bleeds into every area of life, fueling your ability to set bigger goals and reach higher levels. It is easy to underestimate the power of small acts, because they do not provide instant results. That is why so many people quit before they see the reward. But the truth is, success is always built on the things that seem insignificant at first. Writing 1 page a day eventually creates a book. Saving a small amount of money consistently creates wealth. Practicing a skill for a short time every day creates mastery. Waking up early every morning creates a life of order, focus, and achievement. The people who win in life are not always the most talented or the most gifted. They are the ones who commit to the little things when nobody is watching. When you wake up early, you set off a chain reaction of positive choices. You have time to exercise instead of skipping it. You have time to read instead of scrolling mindlessly. You have time to plan your day instead of stumbling through. Each of those choices is a small act, but together they shape your entire life. Your mornings become proof that small wins matter, and those small wins eventually lead to the big victories you dream about. This is why successful people protect their mornings with such intensity. They know that each early rise is not just another day, it is another step toward their vision. It is another brick laid in the foundation of their legacy. It is another act of discipline that compounds into power. Waking up early is not about the hour on the clock, it is about what it symbolizes. It symbolizes consistency, sacrifice, and a commitment to becoming your best self. Every sunrise you choose discipline. You are building a future that others only dream of. And it all starts with a small act that seems simple but carries the weight of greatness. Excuses are the easiest things to make and the hardest things to overcome. They slip into your mind quietly and sound convincing, as if they are protecting you, but in truth, they are stealing your future one small lie at a time. Hitting snooze is an excuse. Saying you will start tomorrow is an excuse. Believing you need more sleep, more time, or better conditions before you act is an excuse. The danger of excuses is not how harmless they feel in the moment, but how destructive they become when they pile. Every time you choose an excuse, you give away a piece of your potential. You trade long-term success for short-term comfort, and little by little those trades add up until you realize you have been stuck in the same place for years. Waking up early exposes the truth about excuses. The alarm rings, and you are faced with a decision. Your mind will instantly begin to negotiate. It will tell you that 5 more minutes will not hurt. It will remind you how late you went to bed. It will whisper that you deserve a little more rest. All of these thoughts are excuses dressed as logic, but they all lead to the same result: inaction. The problem is not the 5 minutes you lost. The problem is the mindset you reinforce. Every time you listen to excuses, you are training yourself to give in, to choose comfort over growth, to let weakness win. But every time you refuse them, you are training yourself to be stronger than your feelings, stronger than your laziness, stronger than your doubt. Excuses destroy potential because they build habits of delay. One excuse turns into another, and suddenly days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years of wasted opportunity. You look back and realize you never started that business, never improved your health, never learned that skill, never chased that dream. Not because you lacked ability, but because you kept telling yourself a story that made it okay not to act. Excuses are dangerous because they are comfortable lies, and comfort is the enemy of progress. Nobody grows in comfort. Growth is uncomfortable, and excuses are designed to shield you from that discomfort. But when you shield yourself from discomfort, you also shield yourself from transformation. There is always a reason not to wake up early. There will always be something that feels more urgent, more important, or more appealing than discipline. But the truth is, if you are waiting for the perfect moment, it will never come. The perfect time to start is always now. Every excuse you make today is stealing from the person you could be tomorrow. The body you want, the success you desire, the life you dream about, they all demand sacrifice, and excuses are the walls that keep you from paying that price. Tear down the walls, and you will find that most of your limits were never real. They were illusions created by excuses. When you stop giving in to excuses and choose discipline instead, you unlock freedom. You no longer feel trapped by your own habits, because you are proving to yourself that you are in control. You no longer wonder if you will succeed because you are building consistency every single morning. You no longer envy others who achieve greatness because you are walking the same path they walked, one without excuses. Refusing excuses when the alarm rings is not just about waking up early, it is about creating a mindset that refuses excuses in every part of life. If you can defeat excuses in the morning, you can defeat them in business, in relationships, in health, and in every pursuit that matters to you. Every sunrise is more than just the beginning of a new day. It is a reminder that you have been given another chance, another opportunity, another blank page to write the story of your life. No matter what happened yesterday, no matter what mistakes were made, no matter what failures or setbacks you experienced, the morning gives you a fresh start. It is a clean slate, and what you choose to do with it determines the course of your life. When you open your eyes at dawn, the world is telling you that you still have time, you still have choices, and you still have the ability to change. That gift is too valuable to waste. When you wake up early, you are not just getting extra hours, you are stepping into the most powerful hours of possibility. The quietness of the morning carries a unique energy, a sense of renewal that you cannot find in the middle of the day. The air feels different, the silence feels purposeful, and the rising sun signals that life is beginning again. In those sacred moments, you have the chance to reflect, to plan, to pray, to set intentions, and to build the person you want to become. Each sunrise is like life whispering in your ear, telling you you have another chance. Don't waste it. Every day brings a choice. You can carry the weight of yesterday's excuses, regrets, and failures into today,
or you can let them go and start again with fresh determination. The morning gives you that choice. Too often people let their past dictate their future. They believe that because they failed yesterday, they will fail again today. But the morning destroys that lie. It shows you that no matter how dark the night was, the light always comes. Every sunrise proves that renewal is possible. And if nature itself can begin again every single day, then so can you. The early morning is also when your dreams feel closest. Before the demands of life rush in, before you get lost in distractions, you have time to focus on what truly matters. You can give your energy to your goals without interruption, and those moments compound into progress. One morning of discipline may not change your life, but hundreds of mornings filled with purpose will. Each sunrise offers the chance to get closer to the life you want. Every early morning you claim builds a bridge between who you are now and who you are becoming. There is also something deeply empowering about realizing that every sunrise is not promised. Not everyone who goes to bed at night wakes up the next morning. The fact that you are alive to see a new day means you have been given a gift that many people were not given. That realization should light a fire inside of you, reminding you not to waste the time you. Life is short, and every morning you are granted is an opportunity to use your time wisely. Treat the sunrise as a blessing, and you will begin to see the urgency of living with purpose. When you commit to waking up early, you are not just responding to the sunrise, you are aligning yourself with it. You are saying, as the sun rises, so do I. That act of alignment creates power because you are no longer fighting time. You are starting your day with nature, with rhythm, with flow. And as you rise with the sun, you carry that same sense of renewal and strength into every part of your life. Each sunrise is not just the beginning of another day, it is the beginning of another chance to live the life you know you were created to live.